Hello guys, it's Zbot here, and we are talking about my controls and what I think are the best controls and what you guys might want for your controls depending on your playstyle and all that. So let's get started right now. First we're going to talk about button layout, and then we'll talk about stick layout, look inversion, look sensitivity, centering, crouching, clenching, clench protection, flying controls, and defaults. And so we're gonna start from the top and go down to the bottom. So first thing that I do is I use Boxer. I'm going to explain what all these mean pretty soon. We'll start with default. So yeah, let's do that right now, and to the left to right we're gonna do it. So default is for the people who are just playing, like they don't really want to deal with all the change in controls, and it's actually not a bad control settings. It's kind of majority, it's pretty much the same across the board for every single Halo game that I am aware of. There are a few changes because of controllers, but otherwise it's pretty much just the same. And this is a pretty good one. I could use it, but I don't know, it just kind of got difficult for me to use this one specifically because of the melee attack. So I changed it to be on another time, but everything else is pretty much the same. So this isn't a bad one. This is just generic. Use it whenever you want, and anybody can use this one. Now Southpaw is the same as default. It is just for left-handed people. So left trigger is weapon now instead of grenades, and then right is grenades. So it's technically just exactly the same. It's just that this one is for lefties. We have Boxer, which is the one that I use. It changes the melee attack to the trigger instead, and then it changes the grenades to the melee that is in the default. And then B is switch grenades, and A is jump. And there's not much different except for B and the trigger and the right bumper. Is that what it's called? I'm not sure what it's called. RB. But, that's pretty much what makes it different. It was a little bit difficult for me to use the melee button eventually, with the B button. So I changed it to the trigger, because I use that trigger more often. I don't use grenades very often, because I don't have like a surplus of grenades to use. I don't have enough to use, and that's why I use this one, because melee attack is easy. And also, you can have an energy sword, and you can use both triggers at the same time. So, all in all, I just thought that was better, and it's not difficult to get used to clicking B to switch grenades. And it's got the same reload, which I really like, as the default. So, let's see what the next one is. So, the next one is Green Thumb. It changes the melee attack to the stick click. I don't really do stick clicks very often, and it changes also the grenades and zoom view. The good thing about zoom is really easy to use in this one, and melee attack is probably there to be used more often, because some people are good at that and press that every time. I use this once in a while when I want to zoom in, but otherwise I don't use this one. That's the only reason why I use it. And I like that part of it. It's kind of weird to get used to, and but the grenades are normal, and everything else is normal, except you click B to switch grenades. And I think that the melee attack might be useful for that, but I'm not quite sure. So this will probably be used for people who click melee attack. So then we have bumper jumper. I would not really recommend using this. They're using the triggers and the bumpers as their main control points. Like, that's what they click the most often. So I can see the usefulness of putting the melee and the jump on both sides because those are some of the most used buttons in the game. But I normally have my thumb here to do swap weapons and reloading and all that. They'll still have their thumb there, but I still use that location a lot for jumping and stuff. Switch grenades. This is kind of a weird one. I'm not quite sure why you would use this, but for some people it might be useful to have the jump, the grenades, the weapons, the melee attack all in the same trigger points. So I can understand why you would want to do this. And so I think that's it. No, there's one more. So there's recon, which it changes the action reloading, switching, grenades, and melee attack. So recon, it makes B melee attack, and it uses X as switch grenades and the right bumper as the reloading or action. And there's nothing different, nothing else different in this. But that, I used this for a while because it got hard for me to click the bumper every single time. Because I actually don't click the bumper very often. Because I don't care for it as much. But, I do use B a lot. So, that, I used this for a time, and then eventually I got used to not bumper jumper, boxer. And I like that better. But this is for the people who kind of like the same old controls. They just maybe like B being pressed better because they have their thumb there more often instead of touching the right bumper. But switching grenades is good. I like that. It makes it easier to do that. And I like this one. It's pretty much the same. It's just two buttons are really different. So yeah, this is for people who like the default layout. They just want they just don't put their fingers there as often. So yeah, that's it for all of the controls right here. Next we're going to stick layout. So I normally use stick layout the same as it is right now. There is Southpaw, which is for lefties, for if you want to reverse it, so it's easier for you. So yeah, it's for left-handed people, so that you can strafe left, strafe right, and all that in difference, in the opposite direction. And then there's Legacy, which my dad would probably be a Legacy player. It's where you... Hold on. Yeah. It's for old players. My dad probably wouldn't be a Legacy. But older games use this layout. That's what I'm pretty sure that's what the Legacy means. And then Legacy Southpaw is just the opposite of that for lefties. So the default isn't, the stick layouts aren't very difficult to determine which one you want. Most people probably don't use Legacy, but I could see why they could use it. I personally like default the best for this one. So, inverted, okay, not inverted controls. Moving the look stick forward makes your in-game character look up. So that's what I normally use. It's default. and it's pretty much the looking down or looking up. And inverted means that when you look up, you look down, and when you look down, you look up. And my dad would use this. This is another legacy thing. People, other games used to be like this, where you look up, you look down, and then all that, because it actually makes sense why you would do that, of how you would control an airplane, and it's a little hard to explain, but it does make sense, because if you put the control stick forward, it would make your plane go down. If you would put it up, then it would make it go up. It's just how, like, legacy games were, because of, it just made sense to them. But then they changed it to not inverted, because they thought that maybe it was a little bit weird to do it that way. So I like that one. So look sensitivity is something that that is very customizable. There's 10 different modes, there's 10 different things, and it's just available for every single person. They can choose what they want and all that. And it also depends on what game play they're playing. So like if they're playing Infection, I would suggest a higher sensitivity. But if they're maybe like a custom games, you might use lower sensitivity. Or if you're I'm not sure why you would have your sensitivity low, but low if you're not used to like really fast gameplay. One is for you, like I would say that maybe you need to get used to the controls, and it's kind of one of your first times. And number 2 is pretty much just the same as low. It's just a little bit faster. It's for slower gameplay and for training. 3 is default. I still think this is kind of slow. It's not actually horrible. It's normal. It's what you start with, and it's for slower gameplay. 5 medium. It's so that you don't have to go all the way up to 10, so you can still do all of your things that you need to do and turn really fast. It's for if you don't want to like feel like you're zooming too fast around. So yeah, that's medium. And then pretty much 6 is the same thing, and then you get to 7, which is pretty good. You can turn pretty fast, and it's probably good. 7 through 10 is probably what I would suggest for experienced players, and then 1 through 3 as for beginners, and then 3 through 5 as actually 3 through 7 as kind of medium, and then 7 to 10 is kind of insane for some people. But I would suggest for better for if you are a good player, 7 to 10. Like I said, that's a pretty good one. I always keep mine at 10. I actually feel like it could be a little bit faster than 10, because sometimes I feel like I can't turn fast enough. But that's just me. This one is good. And then this setting makes your view automatically center as you move forward. I haven't actually tried this. We might do that in a second. It seems a little weird to me, but it might be good for beginners, like I said. Like look sensitivity. I think this might be helpful for those who have a kind of a trouble aiming and stuff. And so maybe you could use this. We're gonna try this out in a second, though. And then the crouching behavior is toggle crouch or hold to crouch. Holding to crouch means that you have to hold the crouching button in order to stay crouched. Toggle means that you click it, then you can stay crouched until you click it again, and then you'll stand up after you click it again. And I use toggle crouch. I barely use crouch, but it's nice to not need to hold it while I'm doing it, because it's a little bit difficult for me to hold the button or press the button in general. And that's why I do toggle crouch, just in case I use it. And then clench protection is for those who do stick clicks very often. Like I said, I don't do stick clicks very often. This will be good for if you don't want to accidentally zoom in or crouch. And I can understand why they would have that. It's so that you don't zoom in when somebody's about to kill you from the side, or if you crouch and aren't able to move because of it. But I use disabled because I actually have a hard time clicking the stick clicks. So this is for Forge, for flying and stuff, and I like having the turn sensitivity very fast, speed, how fast the flying camera moves, thrust. This is how far you thrust or whatever. I think that this might be used for theater. I'm not sure. So guys, that is pretty much it. I am looking at what auto centering is right now. Oh, it makes me look upwards into the center spot. This might be good for headshots. Nope, it's horrible for headshots. Yeah, it just makes it go down. So I guess this could be useful for if you have a trouble getting headshots. I'm not sure if it's at the right height, but it's just for the center. Yeah, this isn't bad. It's just a little bit weird. I don't really like this though. So guys, I think that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm going to do a video about my armor and stuff pretty soon as well, where I'm going to be showing you what I think and why I use my specific armor and coloring. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. See you guys.